Hi, guys. This is Paula Hanish, spiritual coach to women entrepreneurs. I'm talking today about our business and our kids, our children. I'm specifically honing in on this because that's basically what I feel really a strong urge to do. Being women in business, so often what happens is we're really trying to walk the line all the time between us and our children. And I'm focusing on the children more so than the family as a whole, like in our partners, spouses, all of that, because what's in my heart is really focusing in on the kids right now. And when I say that about children, I mean from just born all the way up to as old as they are, even as adults, but there are children. So one of the things I want to talk to you about today is I talked about it being finding the balance. I don't know if balance is the right word. Balance is equality across the board, whereas harmony is, one thing may take precedent over another thing. And I learned that from one of my spiritual mentors, Sonny Johnston, about harmony. Something, having precedent over another thing and still creating this kind of steadiness and foundation. So we want to talk about that just really briefly today. When we have our businesses, it takes a lot of our time and it takes a lot of our energy. And one of the things that I was talking about in the last video was really about taking time for our children, holding a vision for them, not getting caught up in their journey, realizing they have their journey like we have ours, and theirs starts at birth, even before. So they're going to come in and they're going to have, your kids are going to have their own thoughts. They're going to have their own ideas of the way they think they want to do things. And boundaries is a part of it, especially as the kids are growing up. Boundaries is a big part of things, okay? So not letting them walk all over us, not letting them be the boss, so to speak, and, in the sense of disrespectful things of that nature. We want them to be able to express themselves. The biggest thing is we also want to be able to be a good listener because, as I've said, when we learn to listen to them at 3 years old, 5 years old, 6 years old, 8, 10, 12, these are important times to stop and listen, okay? Because if you're not listening to them then, you're not going to probably listen when they're older. And here's the deal. When we stop and listen to them, okay, that's important. Whatever's going on is real. And you've heard me say this last week, whatever's going on is really important to them. It's important enough for them to want to come and tell you about it. So you may not deem it as important or as high of a necessity, but to them in their world, it is. They need a listening ear and they need a support now more than ever. Before, used to be before you can ask your kids, how was your day, right? And we get a multitude of answers from fine to maybe they open up about it. But our kids deal with so much more today. And so I really want to encourage you, just from the youngest of ages, really to listen up, to really listen when they have something to say. And I understand, I've had my kids small and I have grandkids, and I understand they have a lot to say at all times. And I get that. It's just that, there is that part of us that really we want to just really be present to what they have to say and share with us because it's big. And what happens is they learn from a young age, hey, mom and dad are available, because whether you're even a guardian of a child or you're not their mom and dad officially, but you're a legal guardian in some way, or grandma or grandpa or whatever, you're still that mother figure, that father figure to them. And what you want to show is that, yes, you can come and talk to me. I hear you and I see you. Okay. That's important in today's world. I hear you and I see you. We're in such a technology age that it's so easy for our kids to feel like, they're so absorbed in their phones and they're so absorbed in TV and they're so absorbed in things, but model the behavior that you want. So if you don't want your kids on the phone all the time, if you don't want them on video all the time, if you don't want tuning out all the time, then what you want to do is stop being on your phone. Stop being on your computer all the time. Find the balance in between of modeling the behavior that you want. Okay, maybe you are on those things, but maybe they come to you and you completely put it aside and put it down. And you completely turn and you focus on what they're saying. That's very powerful, you guys, versus I'm going to keep going. Go ahead, tell me, I'm listening. I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you. No, that's not good enough. Okay. What I'm saying is, in this technology society, It's so important when your kids come to you. Even I do a lot of computer work, but it's important. And I have a grown daughter, and she's going to go to school and all these things. So she's with us right now. But even when she comes in, it's like, after we say hello, if there's a conversation starting, I want to stop what I'm doing and I want to give that attention. It doesn't mean I have to give attention all night long. It can just be a few moments where I'm looking her in the eye. I'm looking my husband in the eye. It's like you look them in the eye and you talk to them. That lets them know that they're important to you. And even if I have to say after a few minutes, honey, I have a lot to do, but I'm so glad you shared that with me. And we talk just for a minute and then I come back. You know what? She heard and felt. She knows she was seen and heard and felt. And she knows she can come back to me, as I would hope all my kids know. It's not a matter of how often I see them. It's a matter of when I see them, because they're all grown now. But even as I see them as adults, that they know they're important to me. And one of the ways you can do that, even no matter how small your kids are, stop, turn, look them in the eye. Let them know they're important to you just by looking them in the eye and just by listening, actively listening and responding. Give them a hug, whatever. Come back to your work, okay? You might not think that's a big deal, but believe me, it's a big deal. You're showing them that, number one, they're worthy of your attention, okay? Because how can you push them away, and then you're on a phone call, and I'm on a Zoom, and I'm on a this, and I'm on that. Go play, right? So I'm not saying there's not a time that you have to, especially as they're smaller, kind of arrange your schedule so you can be on the phone and Zoom and whatever. What I am saying is the time comes and you're sitting and working, use those times when they come over to stop and pay attention. Look them in the eye, listen, respond. Even if the response is, well, I'm really sorry you had such a tough day. They can feel that, and they can feel when you're just a bunch of words. Kids are so energetically in tune. So don't think you're pulling one over them like, okay, I got you, enough already, okay? So I want to pass this on to you just in short today, because it's really important that you take time for your kids, for your family, and that you find that balance in business. And I hope this helped today. It's not saying that you can't work, that you can't do your things. That's not it. Just take the time, okay? Have those allotted times when they do come up to you that you can stop and actively listen. That alone says so much. It may not be, you might be in a situation where, maybe you don't have full custody of your kids, or you see them once in a while, or there's all kinds of scenarios. And you think, oh my gosh, they can afford so much more than I can, or they can go and do, and you feel this sense of, like comparison with another partner or something because of that with the kids. And there's no need, okay? The time that you have them with you, it's not about any of that. It's about stopping and looking them in the eye and listening and responding. And don't be afraid to hug your kids. They need it. They need it. They just need a hug, okay? We're in a technology society, and there's so many things about so many movements out there, and I think they're great. We got to be aware, a lot more aware in things. Just remember, your kids need a hug sometimes, probably at least once a day, and just look them in the eye. That says everything to them, okay? So I hope this helped. Go ahead on the bottom, hit the subscribe button. That way, as I'm putting these things out, you can pop in for 5 minutes, get some inspiration, help you out, whether it's business, personal, or both, and really create some profitability in your business and a lot of love and productivity in the home, okay? So this is Paula Hanisch, spiritual coach and mentor to women entrepreneurs. And just hit the subscribe button, and my website is Paula Hanisch, PaulaHannasch.com. That's my website. Go ahead and visit it. And I'll be back soon with another tip and tidbit to help you on your way.